just tell you about Palace. Rolling straight to the ceiling, crowns and crystals, top like journeys, dishing out malice. Hold up, South London's grandest, far from bandits. Anything going for a goal of elevation, just passing the team over here might finish that bright future we can't vanish. It's 325 any day, that's sellers. Rev up the engines, no more reverse reactions, thank and fans on stream. Share up the team, support the dream team when eagles fly, make noise and scheme. Dare to dream or dream to dare, taking a step to become supreme.
Are we all muted? I don't know. We're all muted. I think we're all muted, aren't we?
I think we're all muted, aren't we? No, I don't think
there we go. Now I can hear you.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Seamless. Absolutely.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. No audio issues here. Right. Hopefully you can all hear us now.
Yeah.
Right. I'll do that again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome back to Eagle-Eyed Football as we get ready for the return of the Premier League after this September international break. We are here to preview our Saturday 3:00 match against Sunderland. Joining me today from Black Cats TV is Conrad. Conrad, welcome to the channel. How are you this evening?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Yeah, not been a long time since we played Palace, so I'm quite looking forward to getting into it, especially after the ride you've been on, shall we say, compared to our one. We're both enjoying football life at the minute, I'd say.
especially considering what's happened recently with our August results. I think both clubs are certainly flying high at the moment. We'll just get straight into it. Conrad, it's been a while since Sunderland have been in the Premier League. How was it? How did promotion from the Championship feel after such a long time from leaving the Premier League a number of years ago to then even, I think we were in League One and then back up to the Championship and now back finally Wearside gets Premier League football again. How's that feeling?
It's absolutely amazing. I think we were approaching a decade outside of the top flight football. Of course, we relegated in 2017, fell straight through the Championship to League One, and spent 4 years languishing, shall we say, not exactly getting anywhere fast. And then the owners came in, and sort of the path they've taken, the model they've picked up on players really worked well, and then absolutely sent us flying into the Championship. We had a great season, the first one, nearly got promoted as well, playoff semi-final, and then absolutely fell apart the second season, and there was a worry that we could have got relegated again. And then this season we've absolutely achieved our goal. Last season, sorry, I keep forgetting we started this one. We achieved our goal, shall we say, is the best thing, and we're back. And we didn't do it the easy way, and a lot of things left to the last minute. But what a magical ride it's been so far.
You say last minute, yeah. That pretty much sums up Palace's transfer strategy. It's last minute. You're back in the Premier League, and your August results, your first game back, instant win, absolutely fantastic. How did that feel? That just getting that first 3 points on the board at first time of asking.
It was amazing, actually. So I had a season ticket through most of League One, and a year in the Championship. Had to stop for a while, so I got one this year. Managed to find my way back into the ground, and the whole build up was just, this is amazing, this is great, absolutely fantastic. And then first half was really bitty, sort of like end to end, and you sort of thought, well, if we want to stay it, we have to try and beat West Ham. They're normally down the bottom end. This is someone we need to try and take points off. And we turned up in the second half, and they absolutely fell apart. At the end of the game, it felt amazing. And then 3 weeks later, when everyone's been slapping West Ham, it doesn't feel as amazing anymore. It sort of took the shine off it a little bit, apart from Forest, who gifted them a win. But no, it sort of felt really nice at the moment. And it was weirdly emotional. Both myself and Mike, who run our channel, had a friend who passed away, I think a year or two ago, massive Sunderland fan who obviously this is all he wanted to see us back in the Premier League. And there was we were a bit emotional that day. Jack Shields, he's called, was no longer with us, but would have absolutely been having West Ham fans' lives on social media, shall we say, about that day. And and just great day. Couldn't have asked for more, really.
Obviously, you've delved straight into the transfer market as well. And you've made several key additions. Case in point, a surprising transfer that I think that took pretty much most of the Premier League by surprise. Granit Xhaka in a Sunderland shirt. How did that feel, getting probably one of the most recognisable midfielders for Arsenal? How did that feel, getting him in?
Well, I mean, we're the biggest team in the Northeast, so it was no surprise really for it now. So it was unbelievable, really. Like there was always the rumours circulating, especially after the playoff final, where Henderson was there and watching us play, and there was always that romanticised thing. Oh, he'll come back to Sunderland and he'll, either help us stay in the Premier League or give us the leadership, that we need. And it didn't quite materialise. And then just one day they went, oh, we've put an inquiry in for Xhaka, and everyone went, yeah, all right, Keith Downey, calm down, Fabrizio, knock yourself out, son. But and then it seemed to be Eric Ten Hag was like, he's not going, and Xhaka was like, well, I am, like, deal with it. And it still feels surreal. He's only been here 3 proper games, and seeing him lead us out, you just sit there and go, what are you doing? Like, why are you here? You don't need to be. But I'm just guessing the project that was sold to him, the role that he's been given instantly in as captain and instantly into the leadership setup and teaching the younger ones, especially the likes of like Dan Neil and Sadiq and Diarra, the sort of like the way about game management has been, absolutely on point from him. So I don't know how we did it. And there's a little bit of me that just likes to think it's magic, and I don't want to know how you did it. When you don't want to know the magic trick, you're just like, it's here. That's all that matters,
Absolutely. We'll just go through some comments. Rich will be joining us, guys, in a little while. He's just out and about at the moment. But big up to Damo. Big up to the dog who says, Conrad, this is not a proper Palace fan talking about me. He's a wrestling super fan, not a football fan. I'm both, dog. I'm both.
I did compliment you on your CM Punk shirt before we started.
Yeah, I had to change into my brand new shirt. Had to get the white shirt. Everyone else has got the home and the gold shirt, but I like this one. Big up to Sean. Big up to the dog who says, Conrad, big up, dude. But Selhurst in South East London is no joke. We don't mess around here. South London's number 1. UK Pat already in with the trolling. Big up to Newcastle fan Conrad and Hagrid's virgin cousin. Thanks, UK Pat. Good to see you here as always. Spiritual with an early shout. Sunderland is going to stay up. I think so.
I hope so.
I think there's teams that are really, really knocking about in that relegation zone that will be going down. West Ham, goodbye. See you later. Big up to UK Urban Prepper. Sunderland fan.
Yeah, that's Mike. That's the co-host of our channel. So yeah, he's talking about Jack Shields. Yeah.
Big up to Jack. Hopefully Sunderland do him justice to his memory. Shinto Punk says, I used to live next to Roker Park. Great fans, great club. Hope it's a good game. It's never a boring game with Sunderland and Palace.
No,
I remember distinctly. This is the game that always pops into my head. Is the Benteke a goal at Sunderland, the Stadium of Light? So that was pretty.
I've got 2 that stick in my memory. You won 3-2 at our place when we were 2-0 up in our relegation season, I think, and we were 2-0 up and cruising, and I think you got obviously 3 without reply from like 75 minutes. Benteke being in the 94th, 95th minute. But that's also the return fixture that season was when you had Allardyce and we won 4-0 in one of our final wins in the Premier League, where we were 4-0 up at half time. It was a mad day. It's not going to be like that again.
Yeah, I don't remember that game because I got that out of my memory because I went to that game and I was like, fun.
Yeah.
I very nearly took my mum to that game as well.
Oh.
She decided, oh no, I'm not feeling well. I was like, thank God you said that, Mum. Thank God. Defers asks, am I right that Sunderland were owned by the current owners of Charlton Athletic?
I think it's Charlie Medvin was sort of part of our ownership when we first went down into League One, or as he's aptly named by the Sunderland fans, Salmon Pants, because he likes his pink trousers. He's a weird guy. He tried his best, shall we say, but he was a bit David Brent. If anyone's watched Sunderland Till I Die or any clips of it, he's the one that's like, this is what I do when I was a DJ. You got to build the crowd up, and it's like, these guys are in entertainment. What are you doing? Like, and he's just, he was a weird man, really weird man. So I hope so, because I don't like Charlton. They've done us over twice in playoff finals, so absolutely can't stand Charlton.
We don't like Charlton either.
Good.
The Dogogs, best roster of all time.
Oh, geez.
I already know my answer straight away. Big question there. We asked the big questions here on Eagle Eyed Football.
I want to be like really controversial and be early and just be like Roman Reigns, but no. I only started watching in like 2010, so I've got like no 90s sort of memories or anything. So I'm probably going to have to go with Daniel Bryan, I have to, or Brian Danielson, I have to.
Fair enough. CM Punk for life. Caesar Palace, Sunderland stay up, Notts go down. Hopefully, Notts Forest go down now.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I've been laughing at them all weekend.
Well, Ange wins stuff in his second season, so the championship title is a shoo-in.
Yeah. Mike says, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, Mikey does
the
like
dog
Shawn
says,
Michaels.
Conrad, you better beware of our famous Holmesdale fanatic ultras. We are here to win with passion and pride.
Is that
3-star Reds?
Go on.
Go on, no, you go on.
No, is that the? Sorry, I don't know much about the sort of court. Is that where when the camera films Selhurst Park? Is that the sort of lot that are in that corner down there where like Dwight Gale scored that 3-3 against Liverpool and was in that end?
Yeah, so they're not so much in the corner anymore. They're right in the middle of the Holmesdale lower stage stand.
Oh,
nice. So so they moved.
It always looks a good atmosphere in that bit. That does look class like.
Oh yeah. Big up to 3-star Reds. He's probably mourning the loss of Nuno. G'day lads, got the shrimp on the barbie. Good man. I'll come back to more comments later on, guys, because wow, there's a lot of you in here. But big up to you all. Right. Back to actually talking about the actual game, because that's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Palace? How do you think, from an external point of view, Palace have done across the transfer window from what you might have seen, or across since us winning the FA Cup, in case anyone needs reminding?
Yeah. I would mention too. My favourite thing about Palace is that you took the absolute shine off of whoever won the Carabao Cup last season, because I can't remember and I choose not to remember. So it was so good to see somebody else just be like, yep, see, there's a proper team that won a trophy. That's actually one. No, I sort of piqued my interest last season. I mean, I remember, just jumping all the way back. I remember clashes with Crystal Palace when we were in the Premier League and you're in Division 1, and you knocked us out of like the Worthington Cup at the time 2 years in a row. Then there was the playoff semi-final where it was 3-2 at Selhurst Park, and then I think 2-1 at our place. Powell scored in the last minute, and then it went to penalties and Hughes won. We've had a long history, but then it seems to have sort of dwindled off in the last few years. But especially thinking about last season, I remember just being so impressed by Glasner and how he seemed to just understand teams so well. The Man City one was a real big one. Where was it? You were 2 or 3-0 up. So he changed something as almost like a test. Mm-hmm. And I think you did get beat in the end, but then he knew.
Yeah, we did.
He knew that was like, right, I've got you now, and that won't happen again. And you play him in the final, and you do him over, and it's a bit like just the way he sort of seems to understand the game has been fantastic, really. And then you've had some absolute ballers, really, in the last few years as well. Eze's been absolutely frightening to watch. How good he's been. I'm a big fan of Mateta. I just love an absolute unit up top. That's like it's sort of ingrained in my head, especially from the days of like Niall Quinn. You've got the big man up top. That's who you're aiming for. That's your focal point. So I absolutely love Mateta, and the fact that he gets booked during his celebration is awful woke nonsense in football. It's like he's kicking a corner flag. Like what is the problem? Like there's no need for this whatsoever.
I do remember watching that. Yeah, me and JC were on the live stream on a live stream for that Villa game, and
Yeah.
we see Mateta getting booked, and we're like, huh? What? And
Yeah,
then we're just like, yeah, it's utter woke nonsense getting booked for
yeah,
kicking a
it's
corner flag out
ridiculous.
of position.
Yeah, exactly. It was tragic. I need to watch more of Adam Wharton. Like, I know people tell me how good he is, but
Definitely.
I need a proper moment where I can like sit down and actually just watch him for the entire game, because obviously everyone raves about him, and I'm like, it's my own fault for not actually watching him to fully appreciate it as well. I think he's a class defender, and I think you've done really well to either hold on to him or for that deal to collapse in some way, shape, or form. Like, that's, I know you might end up getting nothing from at the end of next season, but
I
he
don't
doesn't
care.
strike me as the type of player that is going to be like, right, I didn't get my move, well, I'm not playing. Like, he seems like an absolute professional and will just play his heart out for Palace until the end of that.
Yeah,
so that was a bit of a
yeah,
tangent. I do like Palace, but I like Sunderland more. That's what I should say.
of course, no,
Yeah.
that's totally fine.
Yeah.
You say that about Mark Gahey. Yeah, that whole deadline day, I was pulling what's left of my hair out because that was not a fun day for me.
No,
And
I
then
can imagine it's a
the
horrible
relief
day.
of seeing Glasner just walk into the boardroom. She's like, no.
Yeah.
I said he's not leaving.
Yeah.
He ain't leaving.
Yeah.
Or
Exactly.
I'm leaving. So
exactly.
that is Austrian.
If you'd have had the
where
Forest owner in charge, Glasner would have been out, Gahey would have been out, and all that. You've clearly got an owner who understood the position of the manager and how you're playing so far, and how is he like the best manager you've ever had on in history now, because he's won a trophy? Has to be, doesn't he? Yeah,
wholeheartedly. Yeah, even if we never won the FA Cup, or the Community Shield, I would still say Glasner is the greatest manager that we've had. But yeah, winning FA Cup and the Community Shield, having this long undefeated run, the longest in I think it is the Premier League, of 14 games, and of those, number of them being European champions. Villa are in that list 3 times in a row. City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
Well, I hope it comes to an end Saturday, and then you start a new one. I can say that.
We shall see. We shall see. I want to talk, just staying on the transfers, the selling of Joe Bellingham. A huge transfer. Obviously, he's now followed his brother's pathway by moving from England to Germany, with him at Borussia Dortmund. How was that situation? How did that situation feel for you as a fan of the club? Because it looked like he might go to a Premier League team.
Yeah.
We were certainly looking around him, and now he's gone off to Dortmund. Do you think the price tag that you guys got for him was fair, and that situation has been properly dealt with?
Yeah, it's so. When we got him, the first season we had him, he did score some goals for us, but he actually wasn't great, is probably the best way of saying it. But we had 3 managers that season who were playing him as a false 9, and then as a number 6, and then as a number 10, and just in behind. And he never really found a settled place. And then when Labrie came in and sort of went, no, you're sort of on this left side of the midfield, you're helping out your left back and your left midfielder, and that's where you'll stay. Really sort of found his position. It came into his own as being our engine for turnovers and sort of our brute force in sort of winning the ball back. And obviously did really well. Scored less goals last season for us, but we all thought he was playing miles better than the previous season. And then the sort of writing was on the wall in the final. Like, there was a lot of tears, and it didn't look like tears of, I'm so happy I've done this. It was tears of, it's over. Do you know what I mean? But I've achieved what I wanted to. And we'll always have to thank him for that. At the time, it felt like, oh God, he's one of our best players. We can't be getting rid of him as we're just about to enter the Premier League. Surely we want to keep hold of him. Hindsight's a wonderful thing now with the transfer window we've had, in that we don't really miss him, is probably the best way of saying it, with Xhaka, Diarra and Siddique in the middle as well. And Enzo Lefebvre, of course, who can play in the middle. We haven't missed him once. The money we got was what I think is extortionate, because I still think money is ridiculous in football now for any player, really, because growing up in the 90s, it was like he's a £5 million player. And now, 30 years later on, he's a £30 million player, with add-ons as well. And I'm sitting there going, is he really? Oh, but then you've seen, like, is it Alex Scott who left Bournemouth? No, who left Bristol City, 25 million, and there's Gyökeres when he left Coventry was 20, I want to say, for Sporting. It was a lot. So you're starting to go, well, maybe that's just what young English talent goes for. And he always said, I'm not a Bellingham, I'm Job, because I don't want to follow in my brother's footsteps. I want to make my own name. And then we all thought, so why have you joined the same team? Like when there was interest from, like, say, Palace, there was Frankfurt as well, were after him. But I mean, we all know Dortmund's history of bringing through young players and developing them as well. So it was probably a no-brainer on that part. I think the best compliment we can say is we haven't missed him. And which, if you'd have asked me that at the end of May, I'd have been sort of going, oh no, we've lost one of our best players. What are we going to do? And really looking forward to seeing him in the Premier League, but we've not missed him so far.
That's a fair point. I think especially his move to Dortmund, and with how things have somewhat started there with him, the news that apparently his dad is banned from entering the changing room and everything from that, which was a bit weird. But I think it's just a case of let him play football. That's pretty much all it can be.
I think he scored in his second game for them, so it wasn't like he was doing a terrible sort of shift for them. But I obviously don't know what's going on. He doesn't seem like the type to be kicking up a fuss, but something must be wrong if his dad's getting involved as well. Yeah,
and you've also got Chris Rigg.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, like he is touted to be the next big thing. In terms of an English midfield. How do you foresee his development going? Do you think he will follow in the footsteps of Job and perhaps leave, or do you feel like he might stay in the Sunderland setup for a few more years to come?
Well, the other week, he just signed a new deal the other week to keep him there till 2030, which we were all worried about that thing before he was 17 last season, where he could have just walked for like minimal compensation. And there's always that rumours of the truth rumours in being that his family are from Newcastle and brought him up as a Newcastle fan, but he plays for Sunderland. So is he just trying to, do a Jack Colback, if anyone remembers him, who swapped shirts and went the other way. But no, he's fully invested. You've seen him on his videos going, I'm full on a Sunderland fan now, which of course he will say. He's not going to go, I still like Newcastle, in any video. But and his dad's in the crowd at most games as well, and and joining in. But I think he's only had a couple minutes this season coming on against West Ham, and the other games we've not seen him. But I don't think that's a thing that we're going to be like, right, well, we'll have to sell him out on loan or get what we can for him. I think we're just making sure we take our time and don't overburden him, because he's still only 18 years old. And now he's got the experience of learning off of, Xhaka. We really like Reinildo, who we got from Atletico Madrid. He's a left back, so it's not going to be direct, but just his sheer aggression and passion for the game is something that seems to be rubbing off on a lot of the players. So I'm hoping he picks up that bit, because the one thing I think he could improve on was his aggression. He was very, but he was 17, wasn't sort of as aggressive as he needed to be, I think, sometimes, and easily nudged off the ball a bit. But on the quick turn and running in behind plays, he's frighteningly good for as he came through for us, a 15-year-old in the FA Cup against Fulham and scored. But VAR, the thing that it is, ruined a 15-year-old's best moment of his life.
Trust me, we've been on the receiving end of tough VAR calls for a while since it's been brought in. So trust me, I know the feeling.
We've loved VAR so far, because we had it in the playoff final and it disallowed a Sheffield United goal for 2-0 when they ran across in front of the keeper when he was offside. We've had in the Burnley game, which we did lose, they disallowed a goal because he fouled the defender, which we didn't think at the time, but they obviously went, we found something, one of those. And then the Brentford game, he was offside. Then there was the penalty review. Then there was our goal review. And it was just like, this is great. I love it. But I nearly got caught out because I celebrated the last minute goal going, we've won. We've done it. This is absolutely amazing. And then they went VAR. And I was like, I've been done. Like I'm one of the club now. This is going to be it. And then thankfully they went, no, it's fine. So it was all right in the end.
A few more comments I'll go through. Spiritual says his greatest of all time, John Cena, legend. Dog says, my man. Dog says, here's one, Brock Lesnar. Fair enough.
Do like Brock.
UK Pat says he misses the Sunderland Till I Die documentary. I actually never got around to watching that.
We do and don't at the same time. It is great because it's not like the Amazon ones where it's just following the coaches and the players and it's very orchestrated. It follows like the staff and some of the fans rather than the team. So it was all very sort of like it showed the community of it, which was great. But then when the Charlton owner and the other one took over in season 2, it all sort of became about them. And it was a bit like no one wanted this. No one asked for it.
Yeah, almost like Drive to Survive, where it just focused on Red Bull all the time.
Yeah.
Mary says, I remember that playoff semi-final so well.
Yeah.
And there he goes. Not a big fan of the
documentary. Yeah.
Spiritual says Glasner top class manager. 3-star says once Nuno did that presser, the writing was on the wall for him. Followed West Ham result and only making changes when we were 2-0 down was the final straw. Reckon we will be okay with Big Ange. You never know.
Never know.
Never know. It's just who we are, mate. Mary says honourable mention to Stevie Coppell, though. Yeah, of course.
Oh right, yeah, manager. I forgot about that.
Manager of the 90s.
Not Holloway for the playoff final. Kevin Phillips, the Sunderland legend.
Rexy with a question. Do you think losing Sarr actually helps us this game? We know he ain't great against teams sitting back. It remains to be seen. I think we need to wait until Glasner's presser for injury updates, obviously, because Sarr pulled up, Wharton pulled up short. So we're going into this with a bit of a bare bones squad once again. Big up to JC. He says, can't make it today, but big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to you, JC. And, of course, to Chairman. Big up JC, says the dog. Davey says, evening Eagles, stick it to the Mackhams. Doug says, what was the question there for Rich? Which is a good segue, if he is ready. Good evening, Rich.
Here he is.
I wasn't ready. I've got to change my name, mate.
All right, I got you. There you go.
I've done it. Good evening, everyone. Apologies for being late. I had to pick up my daughter from gymnastics. Steph's been caught up in the tube strikes.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started about those tube strikes. So, yeah. Let's see. So, which was trying to follow up where we were. Oh, here we go. JC says, what happened with Chris Rigg? Palace had big interest in him in the 24-25 summer. Not seen him play much yet this season. Yeah, we just spoke about him just now. Good segue, says the dog. Thank you. I do try. Well, yeah, we just spoke on him now, JC. I think it's just a case of waiting and seeing how he develops.
Yeah, it's just taking our time and sort of bedding him in and not throwing him in, because we've had that with Bellingham 2 seasons ago and Rigg a bit last season, where we burnt them out a bit because they're so young and we asked so much of them, that I think we're just making sure that, you know, we don't overburden them straight away or destroy any confidence they have if they're getting, you know, overrun in the midfield and no one's helping out. So I think later on in the season, probably around December, when half our team disappears to AFCON, you'll see them all sort of coming back in at that moment. But I think Rigg will be a big important player for us back end of this season, probably start of next, massively. But you know, the players we've bought in so far are not doing too shabby, shall we say?
No, not doing too bad at all. Davey says, I think Sunderland will last 3 seasons: summer, autumn, winter.
No, I didn't read the rest of it, and I was sort of like, oh, that's not. Oh.
Big up to Nate as well. Not here today, obviously. I think he's at work. It says this is an important game before the big one against our friends up the road. Sunderland have impressed on their return to the PL. Big up to Conrad, Nicky, Rich, and the Eagle Eyed Football Chat. Big up to you, Nate, as well.
Yeah, just on this game's massive for us.
Yeah. The dog says, how do we have so many tickets?
From 4 will be incredible.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, to go 15 games undefeated, could be. The dog says, how do we have so many tickets left for Millwall?
It's just weekday games. It
weekday
doesn't help
games,
a lot
and
of
there's still a
people.
few more days. There's almost like a whole week. There's still about 6 days until the actual day, so You never know. You never know. Right. Let's move on to a very, very fun part of the stream, which is the Combined 11. Conrad, as our guest, you have the choice of formation. What formation would you like this evening?
Could I go 4-3-3? Because that tends to be what we play. I don't know if I think Palace do a 3-4-3. I want to say something like that. So I'll get in early and go 4 at the back for me.
4 at the back.
Yeah.
4-3-3. There we are.
There are some stipulations to this as well.
Yes,
God.
there are some stipulations. You will need, I believe, Rich, it's three Palace players, 3 Sunderland players. Have I done that right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey!
We put that rule in because there was once we were doing one against Man City. And we were like, we're not going to get any players in.
I had to do one for the Sun recently. I was telling Nikki beforehand where they made me argue a combined 11 against Newcastle with our promoted side against their Champions League side. And I'm like, oh, yeah, all right then. Like, how fair is that? Good fun in the end. Arguing for Bardsley over Trippier.
So, I will... So, Conrad, you may choose the first position. Goalkeeper.
Okay. What? So I'm picking a player here. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. Okay. I mean, I don't want to be that guy that picks his own goalkeeper just for the sake of it. But I mean, I'm going to big him up beforehand. So Roofs has come in for us, relatively unknown, just under 10 mil or just over 10 mil, and sort of it's one of those profile signings we bought where he's a player where we know how quickly he comes off his line. We know how quickly he comes out and claims crosses. And in the 3 games we've done, you know, it's been fantastic. Is it current team, I want to say, or just all-time combined?
Current.
Damn it. Someone put in the chat Pickford, and I went, oh, my God, could I get round? No. I'm probably going to have to give it to Henderson, aren't I? He's England's number 2, behind Jordan Pickford, and Roofs has only played 3 games for us. But Roofs has been absolutely fantastic for us. So I'm going to be completely fair and say Henderson's in the form of his life probably at the minute and absolutely playing some great football. So I have to give it to Dean. Remember, guys, I'm being nice. You need to pick a player for me too.
You pick the whole 11.
Oh, God. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, God. Right.
That way we get him. So, right back.
Oh, God. Oh, well then, right. I want Trey Hume in there. And I know Munoz is fantastic. And I've seen quite a lot of him. But I don't know if any of you have watched the playoff final or even any of our games there. Hume takes no prisoners. He will full-on flip players up in the air when he wins the ball. And we always like a player where we can go Hume or Roofs or Gooch, instead of actually cheering them. We've had several down the years, and I think Trey Hume is fantastic. He got linked last season to Wolves, but he said, nah, not going there. Sunderland is where it's at. And Trey Hume is a fantastic talent, Northern Ireland captain, so he's going in.
There'll be someone probably in the Palace 11 who will have a moment with him, of course, with Justin Devaney. Trey Hume in there, right? Centre backs. First, starting with the right centre back. Who you got?
Big Dan Ballard. Just because I have to. I know when I was talking to Rich the other day about it. There, you were quietly happy that Ballard might be missing this game for us.
I did say I don't wish injury upon anyone, but he is a threat.
Yeah, he is an absolute unit. Northern Ireland international as well, and obviously scored a goal in the playoff semi-final against Coventry, which was absolute madness scenes at the Stadium of Light with 121 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock of 122. And then, of course, scored in the opening day against West Ham as well. Another header at the same end as well. And we all just love him. If he could just not get injured as much, that would be fantastic. But Dan Ballard.
All right, who are you pairing Mr. Ballard up with?
Gahey. Love Gahey. I think he's an absolute professional, and I think he's an absolutely amazing centre half as well. He makes things look effortless. I always think every time I see him, the way he reads the game and just sort of gets himself in there. I was really impressed when he came in. It's not Palace, but when he came in for England in Euro 24, and just felt like have we been missing this the whole time? Like, and we've been sitting there putting like Maguire in, and it was just like, we've had this guy here the whole time. Why didn't anybody say anything? And
Because he wasn't playing for a top 6 club.
That's true.
Exactly.
But even touching on that, the fact that he knew that Liverpool were interested and didn't do an Isak or a Wissa and kick up a fuss, just went about his business, just like, if it happens, it happens. You know, it might be what I want, but I'm not going to, you know, moan if it doesn't. So what a professional. And yeah, Gahey has to be in there.
Gahey in there as well. Obviously, did score last night against Serbia. So that was,
yes, he did. Yeah,
that was pretty nice to see. Left back. Who we got at left back?
I'm going Reynaldo for one that we just brought in from Atletico Madrid, a Simeone masterclass, shall I say. I don't know what it is. Everyone loves him. 3 games in, and he is absolutely like a fan favourite because he's just absolutely crazy and in the right way. Like, throwing himself into challenges, grabbing older players, and then sprinting down the wing as well. If you probably haven't seen, that Sunderland released this video the other week of like, they let their under-9s come and play with some of the first team, and just to have a little bit of a kickabout, and everyone was just sort of having a little, you know, oh, knocking the ball here, knocking the ball there. And this 9-year-old absolutely snapped someone, won the ball fairly and out for a throw-in. And Reynaldo couldn't get over quick enough just to go, yeah, like right in the kid's face. So, yeah, has to be in there just on legend status after 3 games as well. So it's what football's about, flattening people.
Oh, yeah, easily. Right, heading into the midfield now. Now, we will shift to people out because we can move them about, I believe, afterwards, I think. But who would you like to go in the midfield?
Probably I'll go Xhaka with this at the 6 or the CDM.
Well, we'll move him about, but Xhaka, yeah.
Just because I've absolutely enjoyed watching him so far, and he's been an absolute pleasure to watch in a Sunderland shirt. Never thought we'd get a player of his caliber, and what was it? 2 years ago, he's the 16th best player ranked in the world or something, and it's like, this is unbelievable that he even plays for us. So yeah, I just love him already.
Yep. Next up, who would you like to go? Who else in the midfield?
Can I throw in just you know what I was saying before, and I don't know if you heard Rich. I sort of said I know I need to watch more of Adam Wharton because I know he's great, but I've just full on admit I haven't seen enough of him. Can I throw in Will Hughes? Absolutely, yeah, exactly. Just for that reason. No, just for that reason as well. But just his every time you see him, like, so when you won the FA Cup. And everyone was sort of celebrating all that group, and everyone was like, God is great, this, that, and the other. And he just went, fuck yeah. I don't know if I can swear. Sorry, actually. Should have checked that out first. Like, and then when you've seen him on like Ben Foster's podcast and he's just swearing constantly. And then when you actually see him playing football and he's just a horrible guy in the midfield and just exactly what you need to win the ball back. And I think he's brilliant. I really do.
He certainly has had a huge resurgence under Glasner.
Yeah, he's been great.
Yeah, I think he's become the fan favorite from, you know, we've had such players in playing the same position like Mile Jedinak and Luka Milivojevic and James MacArthur.
I think football legend.
Yeah, I think Hughes has just fell into that role as well. To complete the midfield, who would you like in there as well?
I want to put in Diarra that we've just signed, Habib Diarra, just because at 21 years old, just seeing him stride about the pitch so effortlessly. And don't forget, I'm used to watching, you know, like League One for the last 4 years in a row. And then all of a sudden we just go and spend 30 million on a midfielder who had England's pants down a few months back when he was playing for Senegal. And just, you know, sometimes you just see a player and you just think, oh, it's a pleasure to watch you. Like, and again, he's been here 3 games, and I'm already just like, I love this kid already. I just really do. And it's weirdly, I'm not actually talking about his footballing ability, but you know, when you just see it and you're just like, I get it. I just get it. But I can't describe what it is, but I get it. That's what I feel about Habib Diarra so far. Mm-hmm.
Right, going up from the engine room into the attack. Who would you like? You could choose either side. So either side of the wingers and the striker.
Ooh, and this is where my knowledge will fit. Where does Sarr play?
He will predominantly play on the right-hand side.
That is perfect. Can I have Sarr at right then?
you certainly can have Ismail Assar.
Because we've brought in Talby, who's a right-sided player for us as well, and he's just not quite hit the ground running yet. But we come from Club Brugge, scored several goals in the Champions League, and I just haven't seen it yet from him. But Sar's been absolutely fantastic in especially the last few months is when I've noticed him the most, and probably not before then, but he probably has been as well. It's just that's when I've thought of him there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Next up, who would you like, and where?
I hope everyone's thinking this team's all right and not just laughing at me because I've put in so many of my Sunderland players in there. Left mid, I'll go Adingra. Or is that going to be harsh because he was a Brighton player? He's just seems
We've
really...
won the FA Cup, mate. We don't worry about them no more.
That's true. That is absolutely valid point. And he left him behind, so that's even better, really.
Exactly.
Yeah, we tried to get him last season when in January when Watson was touted to go the other way, but thankfully we held on and Watson scored the goal that took us up, and then we've done the change in the summer anyway. But he's just come in and just hit the ground running. He's absolutely rapid, turning people inside out. I'm not quite going to compare him to Amad Diallo, who we had from Ivory Coast as well yet, but he's starting off in that sort of way. So we'll see how we go from there.
All right. And to complete the lineup, I kind of feel like we know where we're going with this. Who would you like in the striker position?
It is Mateta.
Of course it is. There ain't no striker better.
Yeah, because Mateta is actually like a profile of a striker that would fit Sunderland so well. And like I said before, I just absolutely love watching him play and how he bullies people as well, and the celebration. Just, when you just vibe with someone, that's Mateta. And I think he's brilliant.
Absolutely. So, to confirm, we have Dean Henderson in goal, Hume, Ballard, Gahey, and Reynildo in the defence. A midfield three of Granit Xhaka, Hughes, and Diarra, and up front, Sarr, Mateta, and Adingra. Rich, I'm going to throw it over to you.
6-5. I'm all right with
that. Your team.
Dean Henderson stays. Hume switches for Munoz. Sorry, Conrad, it's going to get dissected a bit.
No, it's all right. Don't worry. I know Munoz is a class player as well, so that's fine. That was complete bias on my part.
See, this is how I'm not used to actually doing this because I've now Munoz. There we go.
Assist in the FA Cup final as well. You can't turn that down.
I will switch Ballard as much as I do like him, but I'm going to switch him for Maxence Lacroix.
Switching.
I hope you don't try and buy Ballard though. If when Gahey might leave at the end of his deal, I'm just like, no, leave him.
All right.
Right, going into midfield, I am going to leave Diarra there. I've seen enough of it.
Okay, Diarra stays.
Quality. Adam Wharton goes in for Xhaka. But
is that where does Wharton play as a? I don't know. This is where as I said before,
he
my knowledge.
He can play as a 6, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And an 8. Switch Will Hughes with where can I put Enzo Lefebvre?
Oh, he does play centre mid or left mid for us primarily.
Should I go left?
He can play as a 10 as well, but we don't play him there too often. He tends to play left mid or centre.
How many players do I have for Sunderland? 2, innit?
You've got Reynildo and Adingra.
1, 2.
Yeah,
3.
go Enzo Lefebvre in the 10, and go Jeremy Pino and left wing forward.
Give me a second. Let me just look him up, and just so I
So I think I've got at least a 3 in there. I know that's harsh on Xhaka, but
it's all right. I saw someone in the comments put not Brobby, mate, but he hasn't played for us yet. We've just bought him, so I haven't seen him yet. Enzo
Lefebvre. There we go.
Yeah, and then change Adingra to Pino.
Adingra to Jeremy Pino.
Is that the new one? Is he a new signing?
We've seen enough in 30 minutes.
That's our new signing, who in pretty much I wouldn't say a cameo, pretty much danced around Villa Park and turned that into the Strictly Come Dancing ballroom.
Very good.
Unreal, by the way.
So there we go. So with Rich's additions and changes, it's Henderson, Munoz, Lacroix, Gahey, Reynildo, and in the engine room, Adam Wharton, Diarra, and Lefebvre. And up front, a Palace 3 of Sarr, Mateta, and Jeremy. Right. Well, I'd say that's actually fairly decent. I've got no complaints with that one myself. Yeah, that is fairly decent.
I hope you're not
Right.
too mad, Conrad.
No, not at all. I can't really argue against a team that's won the FA Cup for a team that's just been promoted. It's a bit like being at the Sun again when they sort of went, argue that Newcastle are rubbish. And you're like, all right, yeah, okay. I mean, happily,
Right.
but I think I'm right.
Right. So, Conrad, how do you see Saturday's game going at Selhurst Park?
I think it'll be a sort of tight game if we manage the game well. We're not going to come out and try and do what other promoted sides have maybe done in the past and gone, right, let's go for hell for leather and try and do it. I think we very much respect the oppositions who we're up against and do our research on them. I think I've seen that Palace, this, correct me if I'm wrong, someone was telling me they tend to sort of sit back and counter a little. I don't know if that's correct or not, but that tends to be what we try and do away from home. The only game we didn't was Burnley the other week because they decided to do that at home and it worked an absolute treat against us and they won 2-0. So I'm hoping our defence holds firm. We'll have Hume at right back. We'll have Nordi Mukiele at centre back with Alderete and Reinildo, and then we'll have Roofs in goal. And I just hope they hold firm against a proper test in Mateta and potentially Sarr. I know you said he might be injured, and if that new lad plays as well, then it seems like he might be dancing over us, like you said.
Rich, how do you see Saturday's game going?
I honestly think we need to score early. Because I've seen enough of Sunderland to say, one, they're going to cross the ball in from the halfway line, and two, like Diarra, like I said, and who's the striker? Mayenda?
Mayenda started all 3 games, but Isidor's come off the bench in every game and scored 2 goals so far. Mayenda, I think Isidore could start. I think he
he's
could.
got a good link up with Diarra, which I've seen. You know, granted, obviously, I think this probably be the first team that you've played 3 at the back against.
Yes, absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to see how that gets navigated. One thing I will say though, Glasner loves to exploit the space in between midfield and the centre backs, and that's why I'm gutted Water's missing, because that pass goes into that area very quick. And so I know I've got the girls saying good night to Steph in the background, because from what I've seen, you do tend to press semi-heavy at times, and it goes all over the place, the press.
Chaos press.
I've seen Xhaka on his own. So that's thing. I think that's one area I think Glasner will try to exploit. If you don't
we've not had, apart from towards the end of the Burnley game, someone like that where Xhaka will be the last one looking to sort of spray it because the centre back's gone round him, because Reinildo's round him, and I think we were going Hail Mary at Burnley. But you're right, against Brentford as well, there was moments where Brentford didn't want to come out and attack us though. They sort of went, nope, we'll sit here. We're quite all right with this at the moment. This was in the first half as well, and it was like, okay, like if you want, and we were trying to sort of work our way through, and that's where this chaos press sort of comes in. But I mean, the players we bought are not slouches. We got back quite quickly, but it just depends how quickly that ball is taken off of Xhaka, and we can get back, I guess.
Definitely. Right. So, just before we finish, the all-important question. Guys, score predictions. Conrad, as our guest, I'm going to start with you. Where do you see the final score being on Saturday?
Well, I hope I've gone for a 1-1 is what I think. I hope we could snatch a point from it there. I'm very sort of realistic in our games and not seeing like, oh yeah, we turn up to Palace and we win. You know, like that. That's just it. Or we go to Man City and we'll do them over 7-0. It's just not the way. I think it's very, as a newly promoted side, we just need to try and take points from every game. We can't be prioritising fixtures over, someone else. And I sort of think if we go there and, do as we did against the likes of Coventry, granted we had 14 different players at that time, and Coventry are not the same opposition as you are, not the same quality, but we just have to try and manage the game as best we can and take our moments. I think I said to someone the other day, we've got the lowest XG in the Premier League, yet we've scored 5 goals with like a 1.2 XG as the lowest in the Premier League. Somehow we take our chances when we get them, but it's creating them that's been the problem. And I'm just hoping that we don't sort of get done over and we sort of ruin this magic carpet ride that it's been so far, apart from the Burnley speed bump.
That's a 1-0 from Conrad. Rich, your prediction?
I am expecting Sunderland to sit back because it's away from home and look at us on the break. It sounds mad, but Ismaila Sarr not being available for this game might actually help. He's not the best when it comes to dealing with like no blocks. He needs that space to run into. And we could potentially have the 2 10s as Jeremy Pino and Daichi Kamada.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who Daichi was brilliant against Villa, who are and a lot better in those pockets. I'm going to say 2-0. Had Ballard been available, it might have been 2-1. His aerial threat is crazy.
It is, yeah.
It's actually a problem. That's not to say that you haven't got other good players on the field.
Well, the other two have been outstanding in their aerial duel percentages so far, but I've seen them in 3 games. Well, 1 game for Nordi and 2.5 games for Alderete. So I can't even sit there and go, well, they're a threat at this and they're doing that one. You know, it's just we've just got to go with hopefully the right setup to win each game, and that's kind of what our manager's good at, is isolating one game and one team at a time and just going, right, this is how we deal with this team and this is how we try and deal with this, and trying to get it over the line. We're not looking at whoever's next, Villa or Forest. It's one of the 2 of them next, but it'll be everyone's on Palace. Go for Palace and we see what we can do.
Yeah, I think he's going to set traps. He's going to try.
He's a smart manager. He will.
He's going to try and get you to do your chaos pressing.
Yeah,
like
I like that chaos
press. Like,
yeah, well, we do. Yeah,
you just see someone with like, oh, I'm in space here.
Yeah,
so,
it'd be like, why is Trey Hume at left mid? Like, what's happened over there? It's like, it's just mad, in it. You don't know where we are. Yeah. It's an illusion.
Just the last few comments before we wrap up. Spiritual says Sunderland are going to sit back and wait for us to break them down. They might be a slippery slope, and says don't see Palace winning this one after Fredrikstad. Hope we get a draw. Interesting. 3 Star says right approach to have, Conrad. West Ham proved that against us before the international break. So there we go. Yeah. So Saturday 3:00, guys. Unfortunately, it's not on TV. So I think this is the first Palace game that's not getting a live stream so far. So I get to relax actually. Rich, what is our schedule for the rest of the week, if you wouldn't mind taking us through that?
Yeah, as I said, tomorrow it's touch and go at the moment. I'm still waiting to hear back. I'll let you know. It basically is Guillem Balaguer,
Okay.
Sky Sports Spanish correspondent. Fingers crossed. Like, he did say he'll get back to me regarding Thursday. Hence why I had to quickly say, Conrad, can you come to Wednesday, just in case? He hasn't got back to me just yet. But if we can get him in the future, it would be great, because obviously we want to discuss more about the signings of Jeremy Pino and Christian Uche, and also potentially if Mark Gay, he might go to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
We don't know. So fingers crossed we can get that over the line tomorrow. If not, at least he's responded to our messages. We might give him another time.
There we go.
Friday, we're going to look back at our transfer window and rate
Done deals.
players. So that's done deals.
That's you, me, and JC.
Yeah, I should be. The only reason I might not be there if I'm on Potsy's stream on Friday.
Fair enough. So it might be just me and JC.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Me and Conrad are on 12th man as well this season, so we might be
Saturday,
back.
obviously
our
fan cams.
Yep, so fan cams. Sunday battery action, and then we go into a very busy week next week.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, we do. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. Conrad, thank you very much for joining us today. All the best for the upcoming season.
Before you go, Conrad, please shout out your channel.
Yes, Conrad,
yes.
I'm going to give you the floor.
Oh, thank you. Wow, God, look at my head. Yeah, Black Cats TV. Yeah, on YouTube. I think our host Mike was in the chat as well. So if you wouldn't mind giving us a subscribe, that'd be great. We've been going less than a year, and I think we're on 2,500. So we're doing all right at the moment, shall we say? We tend to try and live stream most games. I think Mike will be doing one this weekend, and we put out videos when we can. Both new dads, but dads of I'm 2, he's got 5. So we try and get stuff out when we can. So thanks for the floor. There we go. Oh, seamless. Yeah, he's got 5. Yeah. I think
I've
he's
got two,
got
and
another go at me.
I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. Oh God. We've just had our second a few months back, and I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Congratulations.
That is it. That I am finished. Yeah.
Oh my God, why?
I know.
Well, guys, before you go,
Oh,
please
Nicky,
make sure
you've got something to address, by the way.
have I? What's that?
Apparently, yesterday you just had not to show his previous photo.
I haven't even seen any of your comments, Earth. I'm not gonna lie, I've not seen any comments from you, Earth. I'm really, really sorry if I have. I've genuinely, I never try to ignore any comments.
Justice for Earth.
Justice for Earth, yeah. Let's have a look. Let me go up. I don't see it. I don't see any comments. They're not there.
Let's just go.
There. They're not there. I genuinely don't see them. Anyway, right. I will. Sorry, Earth. I'll make sure to have a look properly next time. I'm hosting a stream. Right. Well, before you go, guys, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to Black Cats TV as well.
Thank you.
We will all see you for our next streams. Yeah. Only one rule, 3 words. Up the palace. In a bit, guys.